Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Winnipeg Jets franchise mode here in NHL 24. So in last episode, we took on the Nashville Predators in the second round of the playoffs, and we managed to beat them in only 5 games. Now, this series definitely was a lot tougher in a sense than our first round series. It was quite easy, but also it had its tougher moments. As you can see, game 1, we won 5-3. Then we won a close one 4-3 in overtime, so if we didn't win that game, who knows what would have happened at that point. Then we won 5-3 and take a 3-0 series lead. However, this game 4 was definitely our worst game of the playoffs so far, as we lost 8-2. I don't really know what happened, but the goaltending was not great, and then we managed to bounce back with a nice 6-3 victory to close out the series in 5 games. So I still don't really like our goaltending performance in this playoff run. I think that's definitely something that could be a big downfall, because if our offense obviously starts to not score a lot, obviously we won't have the solution to outscore what the goalies have been allowing, because the goalies have been not too good so far. We are 8-1 in our first 9 games, but we're going to be going up against a really tough LA Kings team, so we need to find a way to contain ourselves defensively and goaltending wise, or else it's going to be a very tough task. Now, we've been getting really good offense, like I said, from a lot of guys, but the goaltending has definitely been the problem so far. As you can see, Aiden Irving leading with 19 points so far in 9 games. Bunch of other guys that are well over point per game, considering we've only played 9 games at this point. And then you can see like our fourth line really hasn't done that much, but every other line has been pretty damn good. In terms of defense, you can see that Vandermeer has been great offensively and defensively. Same with Backer. He's been a great defenseman. Goddard's driving in some offense. But you do have a couple minus defensemen like Scarlett, who's only a -2, which isn't terrible. And then you also have Greer, who's a -1 and only played 1 game. Goaltending wise, though, this is where I'm kind of a little skeptical going into this conference finals, is Per Bergqvist has a 7-1 record. However, he has an .869 save percentage and a 3.84 goals against average. Meanwhile, Mills played his first 2 playoff games in last round, I think it was, or he played 1 in last round, 1 in the first round, and he had an .885 save percentage and a 3.12 goals against. So both goaltenders really haven't been that great so far, so I'm hoping that they can find themselves in this conference finals, because obviously us going up against the LA Kings, we know it's going to be a tough task, because we have to play against our former top-line center, Michael Misa, who's obviously won multiple Conn Smythes, multiple Stanley Cups, and they have a good roster built around him as well, so it'll be interesting to see who ends up going to the finals, if it's going to be us or our former top-line center. Because if we go here to the LA Kings, you can see this is what their team is looking like. Like, they don't have, I would say, the best depth at right side, but down the middle, they have very solid depth. Down the left side, they have really good depth, and obviously having Michael Misa, Orlando Mickelson, they're going to be probably damn solid. So Michael Misa's only played 2 years with LA since we dealt in there. He's had kind of some solid seasons, 90-plus points. However, his playoff run right now is really insane with 22 points in 12 games. And obviously, he has won Conn Smythes with us in the past. As you can see, these 2 seasons, I'm pretty sure he won Conn Smythes both years. Maybe 1 year of those he won it, 1 year he didn't. But he obviously is a multi-time Stanley Cup champion, so would not be surprised if he has a lot of good offensive tools in this conference finals against us, but hopefully we can contain him. And then from a defensive standpoint, you can see they have an offensive driver with Brant Clark. They also have a former player of ours in Gustavo Graham. He didn't really get to play in the NHL, but he was in our AHL system for a few years, so it's kind of interesting that he's now a top 4 defenseman. And they also have some interesting goalies who I've never seen before up to this point, so I don't really know what to make of this series. I know it's going to be definitely tough to contain Michael Misa, a couple of these other guys, but I think definitely we have the skill level to balance against them, but we need to find our goaltending. And if we don't find our goaltending, it's going to be one of those series that we're going to definitely struggle a little bit in, my guess. But winner of this series will face either the Flyers or the Blue Jackets for the Stanley Cup, which would be interesting if we took on Philadelphia for the Cup Finals, because both of our teams had absolutely dominant seasons. So that's what I'm kind of hoping for, but at the same time, I honestly have no idea what to expect with the LA Kings and how they're going to simulate. But let's get into your guys' comments now and see what you guys have to say about last episode, and then we'll get into this conference finals against the Los Angeles Kings. So the first comment is from Sound Talk. It says, if this series is anything like my real-life Stanley Cup predictions, Philadelphia will make it to the finals, but you will not. And let's hope you're wrong on that case, because obviously, like, Philadelphia winning the President's Trophy, let's hope that that curse still is an actual thing. Obviously, it hasn't impacted us that much in the simulation, but let's hope that it impacts the Philadelphia Flyers. And then in terms of us, I'm a little bit more skeptical, like I said, like you were saying, because of the fact that they went 43, 30, and 9 as well. Like, they have a good roster, but the roster wasn't setting the world on fire during the regular season. However, during the playoffs so far, it's been pretty good. So I am kind of nervous that they're kind of a cheese-esque team based on their record, not necessarily on their roster quality. And the last and final comment is from Michael Dose, who says, another dominant series, but I must admit I had to see which series I was watching, because at first I thought I was watching the national one and didn't know whom to root for, LOL. And yeah, I didn't even realize that I made actually a mistake at the beginning when I first posted the video. Basically, I actually accidentally added it to the Nashville series into playlist instead of the Winnipeg playlist, and then I had to go and change it just because I'm not used to obviously having to play a team that I'm actually doing a current series on, so it was kind of funny that ended up happening. So it's good that you noticed that, because I didn't realize that playlist mistake until afterwards. So thank you for that. And yeah, let's get into this conference finals and see if we could get to another Stanley Cup finals. Obviously, we've won a ton of Stanley Cups at this point. How much Stanley Cups have we won back-to-back? I can't take a look at awards right now. But I'm curious on how much Stanley Cups we're going to win by the end of the series, because we still have, I think, like 10 more seasons at least of the series, which is pretty damn awesome. So anyways, let's get into this conference finals, see if we can contain Michael Misa, and if our goaltenders could finally find themselves, because if they could find themselves, that will go a long way in terms of everything. Now, I feel like this series definitely could go to 7 games if it's that type of series, but honestly, it could be a short series too, just based on how goaltenders play in this one. So anyways, game number 1 on home ice. Obviously, we have home ice advantage once again. Can we get to the Stanley Cup Finals? Let's see what happens in this first game, see if we can contain their offense. First period of game number 1. Hey, oh, never mind. I thought it was 2-0 at first. They scored 2 goals. We scored 2 goals. Kind of similar results to the first few rounds, as I was saying. Bergqvist, not that great so far. 2 goals against on 14 shots. However, we scored 2 goals on 12 shots, so maybe their goaltender's not going to play the best either. So Brandt Clark opens the scoring in the conference finals. Grosek ties it up for us. Pajot gave them the lead, and a power play goal from Will Vandermeer has tied the game up. Like I said, shots 14-12 in favor of LA. However, it is a tie game. Can we find a lead in the next period? Because we have not had the lead yet in this game. Second period. Oh my God. Bergqvist is really having a tough time here. I don't know what it is, because this team is so built that they should be able to keep the puck out of the net, but 3 more goals from the LA Kings. We're down 5-2 going into the third as Heikkila scores, Steve scores, and of course you knew Michael Misa was going to get on the board against us. Shots are 25-24 in favor of us, but we're down by 3 goals. This game's probably a lost cause unless we have a historic comeback in this third period. Yikes. Not really liking Bergqvist playing here in game 1. I might honestly turn to Mills already in next game, or try and call somebody up from the AHL, because we need to find a goaltender that can actually win games in the playoffs right now. Like, they're winning games, but they're not playing good. Like, their goals saved above expected is probably way lower. And we are going to drop game 1 of the conference finals. Of course, Michael Misa had to add one late just to slap me in the face. I wish I kind of held on to him, but at the same time, we needed to get Ekholm as the top line guys. So it makes sense that we moved on from Michael Misa, but he's definitely making us pay. Picks up 2 goals, at least in that game. And we lose 6-2, being outshot 40-35. Damn. That was an okay first period in terms of goals, but then afterwards our offense dried up. And like I said, if our offense dries up, that's when we're going to get into problems, because our goaltenders can't keep the puck out of the net. So Grosek from Ekholm and Jacuzzi, and Vandermeer from Jacuzzi and Grosek. And it looks like Michael Misa only had the 2 goals, no assist in that game, but definitely a great player, and it's very tough to contain him. And yeah, we had a bunch of guys on a -3, which is not exactly what we want to see. And an .850 save percentage from Bergqvist. I honestly don't know what's with Bergqvist right now, because I think he won the Vezina probably during the season, but playoff-wise, he's just been abysmal. It's really weird. So we're going to have to maybe make some adjustments. I think oh, no. Aiden Irving, no. Why? Oh, man, I should have probably waited to record this episode, because I am kind of pissed off about that. So our captain, Aiden Irving, has been injured with another, separated shoulder. I think he was injured with a separated shoulder a couple years ago, but he will miss the rest of the playoffs. We've won a Stanley Cup without our captain before. We could do it again, potentially, but That's really not a great injury. That's not great at all. I mean, our team definitely still has the depth. That means Walter's going to get a bigger opportunity, but damn, man, that's a huge blow. Huge. Let's go with Hansen as... Actually, Hansen could play the left side. That's fine. Oh, my goodness. We're going to have to put somebody else on the power play, though. So I guess Landon will come in. Landon actually was really good on the power play, though, when he came in, right? I think he was. Let me just double check on these things. Everything looks good. Okay, yeah, I think I'll keep Landon on the power play because I'm pretty sure he was really good as a depth option, right? These last few years. Oh, man, of course, there's that weird glitch. Let me just get out of the screen for a second here. Oh, man. Losing Aiden Irving after the first game is not ideal. There is a chance he might actually be back for the Cup Finals if we get there. Because he's out till the 10th. Yeah, maybe not. I don't know exactly. It depends on how far this conference finals goes and all that. But obviously, he's our leading point guy. So that is a big slap to our offense for sure. And obviously, like I said, if our offense dries up, our goaltenders have not been good. So, yikes. Let me just make sure this is good. Let's see. How good was Landon again? Yeah, 29 points in 59 games as a depth option this season. So, Landon will get power play time. And we'll see if he can continue to help us out offensively when he's in the lineup. So that's all good and ready to go. From a goalie perspective, actually from an offensive perspective, I am going to move Ekholm to the top line and Bickle down for something different. Goalie-wise, I am not going to run Bergfist next game. He's rocking an 866. So Mills will get an opportunity here. And then in terms of our defense, do I want to make any adjustments defensively? Let me look at the plus minuses. Scarlett's a -3, which is not ideal. So let's I don't want to take him out of the lineup is the thing. I could go Reese and Vernarski, and then Scarlett can play with Goddard. Yeah, we'll do something like that for a little bit of a change up. And yeah, we'll do this. Okay, let's see if Mills can put in a better performance than Bergfist, because whoever's the hot goalie will keep in net. And whoever starts playing bad will be changed out. Now the Flyers are also down 1-0, so it might be both of the top two teams in the league going out in the conference finals, which would be a total EA thing to do. But we need a response. We need a response. We need good offense, and we need way better goaltending. Our defense, I wouldn't really know if it's on our defense that are why our goalies are struggling so much, but it seems like they just can't stop even a beach bowl. So we need our goaltenders to show up in these games, or else this is going to be a quick series that we're just going to get completely blown up by. So let's see what happens in game number 2. See if we can get back at Michael Misa for his performance in game 1 and tie the series headed to LA. First period of game number 2. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we're going to get blown out here. You guys are probably right. This is probably one of those series where you should win and then you just get completely blown out. Pajot, Michael Misa on the power play, and Barahowski scores. That's 3 goals on 11 shots. I think I'm going to call up a goalie from the AHL at this rate. Because at this point, both my goalies have been shit. So shots are 17-11 in favor of us, but we have no goals and we gave up 3. Yeah, this is turning into being like where our team's just bad defensively, bad goalie-wise, and not able to get enough offense. I don't like this at all. If we have a good second period, maybe that'll change things, but right now, not looking too good for the boys, which is not great, considering we were trying to go for another Stanley Cup, but might end up being a conference finals exit, just like a number of years ago when we lost to Anaheim. Can we get a goal or two back to maybe give us a chance in the third period? Second period. 4-0. Oh my god. Pajot again, damn. That Pajot guy's just as good as JG Pajot is in the playoffs. Shots 33-26 in favor of us, but we're still down by 4 goals now. Looks like this game's going to be a loss as well. And we're going to have to find ways to win in LA, which is going to be probably tough. Mickelson scores his first goal, I think, of the playoffs to make it 5-0. Yikes. Yeah, I might call some goalie up from the AHL at this point, because I'm not getting good enough goaltending results. This is actually insane that we're playing this bad defensively. Like, that 8-2 loss was definitely a prequel of what was to come. And we lose 5-0 in game 2. Not a single goal for our team. Let me take a look at the penalties. We only had 2 penalties in that game, so it's not like we're undisciplined. It's very strange that we played this bad defensively. Like, we're just probably too good for the Simmingen or something. Because our top pairing that's usually really good in the plus minus was -3 each. And then another 850 something save percentage from a goalie. That is ridiculous. And Kirk has been very good against us so far here in the early going. Yeah, we're going to have to make some adjustments, I think, here. I just don't really know exactly what. That Aiden Irving injury is definitely going to hurt us a lot in terms of trying to get that offense going. Still obviously leading us in points. So let's go to roster moves here and see what we could do to maybe change things up a bit. So goalie-wise, there's only bigs to call up. So we don't actually even have a goalie that it would call up, really. However, Damian Biggs looks like he was eliminated from... Yeah, he's not even in the AHL playoffs right now. Do I want to give this guy a chance? I mean, I feel like I could. But who else do we got that I maybe could call up? Ooh, there's Blunden. Blunden could get an opportunity potentially. But I don't know if it'll make a big impact. He is a left winger. I could send down Mishenko. And then get Blunden in instead of Lanin. Yeah, you know what? We're going to do that. We're going to do that. We're going to give Blunden an opportunity to help us out with the offense. And then from a defensive standpoint, nothing's going to get changed. Goalie-wise, I'm not liking the way the goalies are playing, but I don't know if I could just call up Biggs. Oh, I can just call up Biggs without even sending anybody down. So we're going to call up Biggs, and we're going to put him into the lineup. I know it seems kind of strange to play a 73 overall goalie, but at this stage, I am dire to find ourselves a good goaltender. So I am going to scratch Mills out of the two of them. You know, Bergfist has been the worst of the bunch, but I am going to give Biggs the opportunity to show us that it overall doesn't matter at all. So we're going to throw him in, and then we're going to take Lannon out and throw in the youngster Blunden, who is going to get moved up to the third line and hopefully give us some offense on that power play, because that would be great. So he'll get on the power play with Ekholm, Jacuzzi. He should do really well in his first few NHL games. He will definitely be a full-time NHLer for next season, which is very, very exciting. So I think that's pretty much how we want to set it up, right? For the next few games. Just got to make sure I'm doing this as good as possible. Let's go with that for a little change. Okay, we'll see what Damian Biggs could do. Some of you guys probably think I'm crazy playing a 73 overall in a conference finals game, but we literally have not gotten a good goaltending performance, it seems like, in these playoffs, and we need to find a way to change it up a bit. So maybe this will make the game think that we're actually not as good as we look and give us some wins. So hoping for 2 wins in LA, because or else if we lose one game, we're going to be in a really bad spot. Now the Flyers are also down 2-0, so literally it could be what I was saying, and the best 2 teams in the league could get knocked out in the conference finals, which would be a typical game, EA game thing to do. So it could be a Columbus-Los Angeles Cup Finals, potentially, at this rate. But let's see what happens in Game 3, see if we could respond in win on the road. We need 2 big performances here. We'll see if Biggs is a big-time performer in the playoffs. First period of Game 3. 3-1 us. Okay, that's a much better start. They did open the scoring on a short-handed goal from Steves, which is not ideal, but Scarlett scores, Ekholm scores, and Jacuzzi scores. Good to see us scoring goals again, and obviously a solid-ish defensive period. 1 goal on 9 shots isn't the best, but obviously it's a lot better than what Bergfist was providing us. So as long as we have a good defensive second period, we should be able to maybe win at least 1 game in Los Angeles. So can we hold on to this lead in the second period, or is this going to be one of those games that you just blow a lead out of nowhere? Second period. 5-2, okay. Okay, this is definitely our best goaltending effort so far, I would say. Walter makes it 4-1. Barahowski made it 4-2. Bergfist is now in net, which is strange. I hope Biggs didn't get injured in his first ever game, because that would be insane. Goldman made it 5-2. And yeah, we have a 3-goal advantage going into the third. Shots are 31-15 in favor of us, so we're consistently out shooting them, which is a good thing, but obviously we need more offensive output like this. Let's see what happens in the third period. See if we could lock this down. Jacuzzi makes it 6-2. That's a nice goal to have just for the insult to wound. But obviously, we're going to still need to win next game. So, Jacuzzi scores another goal to make it 7-2. That's his hat trick, as Belanger gets a power play goal to get LA on the board again. Penalty kill. Nicely done, penalty killers. And there's our 8th goal of the game from Walter. So, our team has hit 8 goals again in a playoff game, because in the first round, we had 2 9-goal games. This was our third 8-plus goal game. in a playoffs, which is insane. Obviously, we're still trailing in the series, but an 8-3 victory, outshooting them 45-24. So that's much better from our team. Obviously, we need to do that in Game 4 as well, because or else we're going to need to win 3 straight. Let's take a look at the goals. So Scarlett from Jacuzzi and Bickle, Ekholm from Wilson and Goddard, Jacuzzi from Walter and Bickle, and yeah, Walter from Bickle and Goddard, Goldman from Goddard and Bulbrook, Jacuzzi from Walter, Jacuzzi from Bickle and Vandermeer, and Walter from Goddard. So a lot of guys stepped up in a very important game. You had Goddard on 4 points in with Jacuzzi and Walter and Bickle as well. And then you had Wilson and a bunch of other guys on 1 point. And the main story of the game, Goddard and Reese seemed to do well together. They were both a combined +5. A bunch of other guys were +5 as well. So that's exactly what we need. And we also got a solid goaltending effort because Biggs played 30 minutes of the game, had a .917 save percentage. See, a 73 overall could outperform an 88. And then Bergqvist came in and didn't play that great. But we still won because obviously the good goaltending performance from earlier. 3 stars of the game, Jacuzzi the first star, Walter the second star, and Bickle the third star. So, do I start Biggs again next game, or did he get injured? Because if he got injured already, that would be insane. And he did not get injured. I guess it was maybe just a minor injury, but he will be starting the next game, I think, as well. Or do we go back to Bergqvist? Because it is a bit of a risk playing that 73 overall multiple times, probably. But he was definitely the best goalie we've had so far in this postseason, which is interesting enough. How did Blunden do in his debut? -1 in 13 minutes. Not ideal, but still. Yeah, I think we're going to go to Biggs again. We're going to go to Biggs again to start it off and hope that he could keep us in this. Mills will probably come back in shortly, but Mills is already listed as a starting goalie, and Bergqvist was recently locked up, so we might have to make some decisions in the offseason with the goaltending scenario. But yeah, we'll start Biggs again just because, like I said, maybe I'll make the game think we're worse than we actually are. So we'll go with that. And then Goddard and Reese were definitely really good in last game together, so we'll keep that pairing a pairing for the next game as well. Okay, the question is now, can we win 2 games in LA and get this back to square one again? And Philadelphia has also won their game, so maybe both teams are going to find a way to climb back into their series. Let's see what happens in a very big Game 4. If we lose this game, we have a mountain to climb and win 3 straight games. We win this game, we only have to win 2 more. That would be nice. And if we lose this game, though, like I said, we have to win 3 straight games, which is going to be tough, especially against Michael Misa. So we need to play good defensively, good goaltending-wise, and we need the same type of offense that we got in the last game. So here we go. Another big game. We're in LA. Can we win and tie the series up at 2 apiece? First period of play. 1-1. Hey, I'll take it. That's better than being down like 3-0 after the first. So Bickle opens the scoring really early on. They get a late goal from Villette on Biggs. But shots are 11-8 in favor of LA. So far, Biggs has had some pretty solid performances, which is good. Always a nice... We'll probably go back to originally one of our other goalies once we get the series tied up. But right now with Biggs being in net and playing as good as he is, I'm just keeping him in net to try and get our team back to square one again, where we could make some more decisions on what we want to do. But 1-1 after 1. Pretty close game so far. Can we get the lead in the second period? Second period. 3-2 for us. Okay, they took the lead early on, Heikkila. But Wilson scores not too much longer, or later on, 50 seconds later. And then 4 minutes later, Jacuzzi gives us the lead. Jacuzzi's been really good in these last 2 games. Hopefully he continues that as the series progresses. And we're 1 period away from potentially tying the series up and winning both games in LA, which would be a great response to those 2 losses we had on home ice. Shots are 22-19 in favor of the Kings. Can we get some insurance and lock down Game 4? Come on, boys. Please do it. I believe in yous. I believe in yous. Penalty kill in this third period. And they get a power play goal from Brant Clark. And they get another one from Orlando Mickelson. But Jacuzzi ties it back up. And Fernarski gives us the lead. What the heck is happening? Hurd gives us a 2-goal advantage. That's a huge goal. They pull within 1, though. Nystrom. Oh, my goodness. And Belanger ties it at 6. What is happening in this game? And they get the lead. I felt like they were going to get the lead. 7-6. Oh, my goodness, guys. Please. And, oh my goodness, Blunden, his first career playoff goal is a major statement. It's 7-7. We're going to overtime. If we score another goal, that's going to be 4 games this playoff run where we've had 8 goals, which is insane. What kind of third period is that? That might be the most insane third period I've ever seen in a game. What the hell? So it was 1-1 after 1. It was 3-2 for us going into the third. And then early on, let me just move my face because there's so many goals. They scored 2 goals to take the lead. Then we scored 3 goals to take a 2-goal advantage. Then they score 3 goals to take a lead of their own. And then we score a goal to tie it up with 29 seconds left. And of course, it was his first ever playoff goal for London. Do I jump into this overtime and watch it? I know it's not an elimination game. I just know it's an insane game right now. Trying to think. I don't know if I should jump in or not. I'm kind of scared to jump in. Should I jump in? Like the way this is going, this is probably going to be a quick game, but I don't know for sure. You know, I'm going to jump in, I think. I'm going to jump in and watch this. I think this would be a fun game to watch, so let's remove my face from the screen and let's watch this game. I know it's not an elimination game yet, but this is a massive overtime. We win this, we tie the series up. We lose this, we need to win 3 straight games, so might as well watch this, considering how much goals have been in this game. I don't even know who's in net at this point for us, if it's Biggs still. I don't think it is Biggs anymore, so it's probably Bergfist, which is a bit scary, but we might as well watch and see what ends up happening in this game. Probably will end fast, but look at that. Ekholm, the former prodigy, against Michael Misa, the former top-line center. As overtime underway in the 7-7 game. This is one of the craziest conference finals games, I think, offensively I've seen for both teams. Groshek walking in with it. Come on, Groshek. Throws it over to Wilson. Wilson over to Vandermeer. He walks down the middle. Can't score. Gets it back again. Stopped again by the guy with the Carolina Hurricanes pads. Wilson can't get through. That's Kirka still probably in net, unless they have their backup in net now. Wow, that was some good chances from Vandermeer early on. Love to see it, but he got stopped on both of them. Groshek throws it over. Wilson a shot, and that's turned away. We're getting some good pressure early on here in overtime. Can we get full pressure? Maybe. We still have it in their zone. Come on, guys. Hold them in there. Hold them in. Michael Misa breaks it out. Of course he does. Misa gets poke checked by his former teammate. Love to see it. Here's Groshek. Groshek with some room. Walks in down the middle, or just down the side, and stopped by Kirka. I'm really surprised Kirka's still in net. Wow. Okay. So some good chances here in overtime to start off from the Jets. If we could score that next one, we tie the series up, and then who knows what the heck's going to happen on home ice. Bickle at the draw against Michael Misa, who's a little bit tired, so maybe we could get some pressure here. We can't win the draw, though, of course. Come on, guys, hold it in, and we can't hold it in. Here's Orlando Mickelson with room. He shoots it. Great stick by Vandermeer. Vandermeer's so great defensively, too, as an offensive defenseman. I love it. Get it away, guys. Get it away. Vallette shoots it. Nice block by the defense, and here's Backer with it. Backer holding on to the puck. Backer walking in. Backer making some moves, and then Brant Clark poked it off him. It's basically Brant Clark versus Vandermeer at this stage in terms of offensive defensemen. Here is Bickle. Bickle carries it in, makes a move. Bickle throws it to Walter. He scores! Esteban Walter. We are tied at 2 apiece. I am glad I jumped in now to watch that goal. But that's a huge goal from Walter. We win 8-7. That's our 4th game of the series, scoring 8 goals, which is insane. Or not of the series, of this entire playoff run, I should say. But a huge win from the boys, as Esteban Walter is the hero on that goal. Wow. Love to see it. Love to see it. That might go down as a goal that gets us back in the series. We just need to find a way to win 2 more games, and then we could potentially go to another Cup Finals. Wow. What an overtime that was. Some good chances both ways, especially on our end, but third start of the game, Brant Clark with 3 points. Second start of the game, Arthur Jaquizi with another 3-point performance. Jaquizi's been great these last 2 games. And Heikala for them with 4 points the first start of the game. Let's take a look at these stats here. Yeah, we got some good performances from a lot of guys, but also people like Groshek were -4 in that game, which is insane when you have people that are +4, but the amount of offense, you would expect a couple guys to be minus. And then, yeah, Biggs was not very good. He was not very good, so we're probably going to go back to our original goalie rotation to start next game, just because I think that would be probably the best bet. is to go back to the original goalies. Like, Biggs was only up here just to kind of give us a chance. But it's kind of interesting that we've won 2 games in a row scoring 8 goals again. That's also kind of nuts. And that's also without Aiden Irving in the lineup. So that's pretty damn impressive. Let's go to edit lines here and get Mills back in as the backup. Biggs will sit on the bench. Might as well. He's earned it to sit up here for a while we have that injury to Aiden Irving. So there we go. We'll see if Bergfist could start a playoff game and play a lot better than he has in the past. Because obviously he has still not been great, but maybe the fortunes have changed going forward. Maybe I'm going to make a dumb decision, but Blunden, that late goal to tie it up, is going to go down as one of the best first ever NHL goals I've ever seen. Yeah, huge late goal. And then we end up winning in overtime. That's why you call up Taylor Blunden. That's why you call him up. Okay. Well, let's see if we could actually win a game on home ice, because so far the home team has not won a game in this playoffs. If we could find a way to win this game, we are 1 win away from the Stanley Cup Finals again, as the Flyers also have done the exact same thing as us. More than likely, they lost their first 2 home games to Columbus and then won 2 games in Columbus. So it could be identical in both the East and Western Conference in terms of comebacks. Let's see what happens in Game 3 and see if we can win our first home game of the series. Come on, guys. Let's get her done. Let's get her done. Let's build off the momentum of the last 2 games. First period of Game 5. 1-0 Kings. Not ideal, but I mean, we aren't trailing by that much, so at least it's a better defensive period. Shots are 17-11, though, in favor of the Kings, so they're getting a lot of chances after just 1 period. Did we take a lot of penalties? We took 2 penalties, a tripping minor and a holding minor. They took a penalty as well, but we didn't score on it, so definitely still need to be a little bit more disciplined, but at least it's only a 1-0 game. It's not like we're trailing by a lot, so if we could have a good second period here, get a goal back or 2 back, maybe we could have a good third period and close out this game. But obviously we need to have good goaltending throughout this entire game. It can't just be for 1 period. Can we find a way to tie this game up in the second and not give up anything? Second period. 2-0 LA. Gannon again. We are trailing 2-0 going into the third after scoring 8 goals in back-to-back games. We need to score 2 goals in the third period, which is doable for this team for sure. So Bergfist is having his best game, I'd say, of the playoffs. He's made 28 saves so far, and we're still in this game because of him. So we need to find a way to score goals, or else we will be on the brink of elimination headed to LA. So maybe this is going to be the home ice trend where it changes only in Game 7 where the home team finally wins, which would mean we would win in 7 games. That would be ideal. But at the same time, obviously, I hope that we can find a way to win this game. But we need definitely our offense to show up like it's done the last 2 games in this third period. So will we be able to find some goals? Come on, boys. Please get me a goal early to give me some confidence. Let's see what happens in this final 20 minutes. There's an early goal from Groshek. Ask and you shall receive. Can we tie it up now? Can we tie it up? Just give me a power play opportunity or not. Wilson ties it up. That's a huge third period from this team so far. 2 unanswered goals to tie it up at 2. And Walter, again, the hero from last game, gave us the lead. But Byfield ties it up, and Mickelson gives the Kings back the lead. Are you serious, Bergfist? Oh my god. And Dvorsky scores as well. Bergfist had a great performance up until the third period. We had the lead for the first time in the game. And then we give up 3 unanswered goals in the span of 6 minutes. Well, I'm going back to Mills for next game for the elimination game, because Bergfist has not been that type of guy. He was good in the first 2 periods, but that third period, we could have easily taken a 3-2 series lead, but instead he decides to blow it. And now we are on the brink of elimination. Not ideal. Groshek from Wilson, Wilson from Groshek and Ekholm, and Walter from Goddard and Bickle. I was thinking that Walter goal was going to be a game-winning goal, just like the last goal he scored, but fortunately it wasn't. And then Byfield tied it up immediately. And then we gave up a goal less than a minute later, and then another one a couple minutes later. So, yeah, Bergfist is not the guy, really. Wilson, the third star of the game. Mickelson, second star. Dvorsky, the first star. Yeah, I don't know what to do about Bergfist, because we did sign him long-term as well. I love his regular season play, but playoff-wise so far, I don't really know what's with him. Maybe we need to upgrade the defensive core in front of him or something, but... Where is LA? Oh, or Philadelphia. Philadelphia has taken a 3-2 series lead on Columbus. They've won 3 straight games. There is a chance that Sano Otaku is exactly right, that Philly might go to the Cup Finals and we might not. It could be a Michael Misa versus a very good Philadelphia Flyers team for the Stanley Cup, which is kind of scary. But we need to win 2 games. It's doable, but we need goaltenders to perform. So the question is, do we go back to Biggs or do we try Mills? Mills has an 871. Burkus had an 868. Jesus. Let's see. And Biggs had an 840, so never mind on Biggs. We'll go to Mills to start off this game. Burkus will be the backup, though. And then from a defensive standpoint, I am going to restructure this back to the way it was to start the series, I think. And from an offensive standpoint, we will get Blunden in. Actually, Walter's been really good, so I should hold Walter into that top 6. Groshek's been, actually, I'd say a little bit more quiet. So I'm going to get Walter on the top line. Groshek's going to go down to the 3rd line. Blunden will get into the top 6. And then Jaquezie and Wilson will change. Just for some random things. Put her down the middle. That will work. And I think that's what we'll run with. Yeah, I think that's what we'll run with. So, will this team survive and get it to a Game 7 back on home ice? Or will we lose in 6 games in the conference finals? Come on, guys, please. Just win me another game. We've scored 8 goals in 2 games. In each of those 2 games that we've won so far. If we get the offense and we actually get a good goaltending effort, who knows what could happen. So, let's force it to a Game 7 and see what happens when we get to that point. Okay? So, Game 6. Can we tie the series up at 3? I said earlier that the series could go to a Game 7. I still believe in that. Let's see if we could get to a 7th game and extend our season a little bit longer, or are we going to be knocked out in the conference finals for the first time in a couple years? Real-time simulation. We got to win in LA again. We've won 2 times here so far. We could definitely do it again. Power play goal to start the game from Caden Wilson. Love to see it. Caden's been picking up a couple goals as of late. So that's nice to see here early on. Let's get some more goals, though, please, boys. But so far, a good defensive first period, not giving up a lot of shots on goal. And we are going to have a 1-0 lead after 1, only allowing 3 shots on goal. So Burkus hasn't had to face a lot of shots so far. Actually, not Burkus. Mills hasn't had to face a lot of shots so far. So I am a bit scared that he hasn't faced that much shots. But at the same time, maybe he's better if he doesn't face a lot of shots. Hopefully we can find a way to get some more insurance in the second period to make it safer for the third period so we could potentially lock down this game. Let's see what happens in period 2. See if we can get an insurance marker. Power play for us to start the second. We don't score on it. Penalty kill and a short-handed goal from the youngster Blunden gives us a 2-0 lead, but they get a power play goal on that same power play from Orlando Mickelson to get themselves on the board. That's a huge short-handed goal, though, from the youngster in Blunden. And Blunden scores again. Let's go, Blunden. 3 goals in the playoffs for Blunden so far. Hines gets the Kings back on the board again. But a huge late goal with 16 seconds left from the Bullbrook, who hasn't scored in a while. It's a 4-2 lead for us going into the third. Okay. Shots 21-19. So far the goaltending has been okay compared to some other games. But obviously it still hasn't been fantastic. But for us to have 4 goals on 21 shots, I like that a lot. But Blunden is definitely a huge call-up for us here right now in the playoffs. I'm really glad I made that decision because I wasn't sure if it was a good decision to make that yet. Maybe it was a better idea to wait till next season. Like, he's going to be a really good rookie next season. But he's definitely come up with some big goals so far. Obviously, his late goal to tie the game up, and then we won in overtime. Then this short-handed goal, and then this goal, too, was huge. So we'll see if he can get his first ever playoff hat trick if he gets a goal in the third period. But let's see if we can lock this down defensively and extend the series to a Game 7. Come on, boys. Just play good defensively and play good for Mills. And then hopefully we get maybe one more goal just to make it a bit safer. But can we extend the series to Game 7? Let's see what happens in this final 20 minutes of Game 6. Come on, boys. Michael Misa gets the Kings on the board. Byfield ties it up. No, don't do this to me, game. Penalty kill. Penalty kill. Kill it off. Kill it off. Oh, my goodness, whoever took that penalty. Oh, my goodness. Come on, guys. You got to play good defensively. Final few minutes of this game. We're going to intervene here. And once again, I know it's kind of weird to intervene in these type of situations, but we need to extend our season. This might be a dumb decision to make, but if we could find a way to get that next one, maybe we could extend our season to a Game 7. We don't. We lose in this conference finals. But, oh, man, I don't know if it's a good idea for me to intervene here. Well, we'll see what happens. Let's see if we could extend our season. I don't like that we blew a 4-2 lead in this third period, though. That's exactly what I didn't want to have happen. Like I said, we needed to play good defensively in front of Mills, and we didn't obviously do that. Or Mills just didn't play good. Come on, guys. This is our game to win. This is our game to win. Let's get it to a game 7. We could beat LA here. We've beaten them twice. Let's do it again. Nice stick there by Vandermeer, who plays probably a ton of minutes. Vandermeer finds Hansen. Hansen finds Reason. We have our 4th line out there, which is not exactly what the type of line I want out there against Michael Misa, but it is what it is. Reason takes it away, finds Hurd a chance, and that's blocked. Good little pressure from our 4th line, as they are hemming the top line in their zone. We're almost into the final minute of regulation. Dvorsky with it. Get it away, guys. Get it away. Don't let them walk in. Nice play by Backer with his stick. He finds Vandermeer, who's all the way up in the rush. I don't know why. Vandermeer, you got to get back, my boy. Oh, no. 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 Oh, my goodness, Mills. Thank you. Yeah, Vandermeer got caught a little bit because he was jumping offensively. Michael Misa had a good chance on a breakaway to potentially eliminate us, but thankfully for Mills, he makes the save. Wilson's up there in goals as Walter. That's good to see. Ekholm Walter with Walter and Jacuzzi right now. Ekholm wins the draw. Here is Bjorn Backer. Finds up to Jacuzzi. Oh my god, what did I say? Jacuzzi. God damn. Faults Walter. Can't get through. Walter battling. Just don't take any penalties, guys. That's what I'm asking for, if you're going to have those type of chances. Pajot with a nice stick there by Backer. Yeah, Backer and Vandermeer are very good with their sticks. I don't know what the hell was that kind of pass, but looks like we're going to be going to overtime to try and extend our season. Obviously, the last overtime we just watched, we scored a huge goal from Walter. The question now is, will we be able to get it to a Game 7 back on home ice? We just got to find a way to get that one goal. Let's see what happens in overtime. Who wants to be the hero? Drop your predictions. Let's say Vandermeer, because Vandermeer's just been all over the place in these games when we've watched them. Come on, guys, get it away. Here is Michael Misa. Get it away from him. Nice play by Backer. Misa still with it. Get it away. Get it away. Misa still with it. Get it away. I don't want him with the puck. Villette with a shot. That's way wide. I don't know what the hell that kind of shot was. Maybe for a tip or something. Villette again. Turned away by Mills. Yikes. That was scary. Who the heck is this dude? I don't know who that dude is. But it might be Heikala because he's just moved up there in hits, apparently. They have a lot of guys up there in hits for the Kings, so the Kings are definitely a physical brand of hockey, apparently. Ekholm wins the draw. Here is Vandermeer. Vandermeer finds Backer. Backer carrying it up. The defensive defenseman making some moves. Still with it out front. Ekholm, a shot turned away by Kirka. Here's Walter. Walter again, the OT hero from last time. Can't get it by Kirka on that short side, but a nice little opportunity there to potentially extend our season. Come on, guys. Just got to get to a Game 7, and hopefully in Game 7 we could find a way. Ekholm at the draw again against Michael Misa. And Michael Misa will hold him up, and Dvorsky's got it now. Get away, guys. Mickelson. Orlando. What a name. He should play for the Florida Panthers with that name. Or the Tampa Bay Lightning. Here is Backer. Finds it to Ekholm. Ekholm carrying it up. Throws it off a stick and goes into the corner. That was a weird bounce. Don't know what the heck it hit. Clark throws it over. Jacuzzi. Great interception. Arthur carrying it in. Shoots it. And it's taken away by Mickelson defensively. Kind of surprised that guy could back check. Michael Misa walking in. Vandermeer can't get him. Misa still with it. Throws it behind his back, but he turns it over. Here is Arthur Jacuzzi. I don't know why he slowed down so much, but he gets bowled over. And that is not the type of play you want to see from Arthur. You want him going into the net and get a chance, but he doesn't get one there. Yikes, that was a dangerous trip up almost. As Bickle with it now. Bickle can't get by. Heikala finds Clark. Get away, guys. Clark tries to throw it through the middle. Blunden with a great interception. Maybe Blunden will be the guy to get the OT winner. Who knows? Because he's one goal away from the hat trick. So, got it up to Bickle. Bickle carries it in. Bickle finds Vernarski. Vernarski walking in. Shoot, stop. Rebound, scores. It is Blunden. His hat trick wins the game and extends the season to a Game 7. Holy crap, Taylor Blunden. Oh my goodness. The first shot from Vernarski caused a huge rebound. And Blunden getting the hat trick to extend the season. Wow. If I didn't call him up, would we be in this scenario? Probably not. Jeez, what a game-winning goal. That might be the best goal I've seen from this team in their history so far, as Vernarski walked in, got that shot. Huge rebound. Blunden finds it. gets the OT winner and the hat trick to extend our season. Wow. So Orlando Mickelson got third star of the game. Apparently, Byfield got second star. And the first star of the game, obviously, we know is going to be going to the youngster Taylor Blunden with his first career playoff hat trick in a do-or-die game. Oh my goodness. That was just a great rush, though, because like a nice little pass here. And Vernarski's been really good in overtime scenarios as well. Walks in. Can't get much of a shot there. Then he gets a shot. Huge blocker save, and then Blunden's able to get to this and just throw it right back on net. What a goal. What a goal. So that's what Blunden looks like. He might be only 20 years old, but he looks a lot older than that. Let me just get a screenshot of his face, because this guy is definitely already making himself into a channel legend at this point. And this is only for his third NHL game, I think. Just kind of crazy. He hasn't even played a regular season game yet. Like, goddamn. We're going to a game 7, so the home ice trend is continuing. Will it end in game 7? Because the home team has yet to win a game. And we've won 2 games in overtime, so... Philadelphia, are they going to the Cup Finals? No, they are not. It's going to game 7 in both the East and Western Conference. Well, that's interesting. Do I start Mills for next game, or do I go back to Bergfist? I think I got to go Mills. Bergfist would start the Stanley Cup Finals if we get there again. But Bergfist has really not been my favorite guy right now in the series. Like, how do you go from a 915 in the regular season to all of a sudden an 868? Like, last time when we won the Stanley Cup, he posted a 920. But this year, he's just been completely awful. So, we're going to go with Mills to try and see if he can get us to that Stanley Cup Finals. And, like I said, if we get to the Cup Finals, maybe there's a chance Aiden Irving comes back, but I feel like he probably won't, which is unfortunate. Because likely the Stanley Cup Finals starts on the 29th, which means, let's do actually some math here. 29th would be 2 days from now. So that'd be game 1, game 2, game 3, game 4. Maybe he could be back. Yeah, there's maybe a chance that he could be back for the finals if it goes to like game 6 or 7, my guess. But the question is, are we going to go to the Cup Finals? Because like I said, it's the home ice trend right now. But is it going to stay that way in the series? Let's see what happens. We're going to keep the rest of this team the exact same. Game 7, winner will face either Philadelphia or Columbus, because they're also in a game 7 scenario. Can we win 2 straight games? Because we have not... Actually, we've won 2 straight games one time, but still, it's been very back and forth this series. I don't really know what version of this team we're going to get. If we're going to get the good offense, or we're going to get the goaltending effort, or what. Like, it's just going to be very weird what ends up happening in Game 7. But can we get to another Stanley Cup Finals and take out Michael Misa? Real-time simulation. Can we do it? We've seen a lot of close games in this series. Bickle immediately opens the scoring, which sometimes is a good thing, sometimes it's not. And they tie it up immediately after a few minutes. Heikala. Come on, guys. Oh, no. Dvorsky makes it 2-1. But we answer back. Jaqueezy. Nicely done, Arthur. But they answer back. It's Brant Clark to give it a 3-2 lead for LA. Not ideal from Mills so far. But I think Bergfist would have done the exact same, so... Not putting that fully on him. We're down 3-2 after the first period. Got to tighten it up a bit defensively. I like that we scored 2 goals in the first period, but we definitely need to not give up 3 goals in a period. Shots are 13-10 in favor of the Kings. Can we tie this game up in the second period? Because this is a crucial period in potentially the series. So let's see what happens in period number 2. And we tie it up. Arthur scores again, and Blunden again. Let's go. Blunden's been so... freaking good. Oh my goodness. Blunden is a new... Oh my goodness. Yeah, Blunden's a fan favorite already at this point. You guys are going to lose your mind when you see all this. 2 goals from Blunden in the second period. He had a hat-trick last game. And we have a 5-3 lead. And we are a full 20 minutes away from going back to the Cup Finals. After a couple roster decisions to call up Blunden. God damn. Well... let's see if we can lock this one down in the third period. Obviously, we'll intervene if we have a chance to win the Western Conference. See if we could take out Michael Misa here. We're just a period away. We got to get some insurance just to play it safe, though. And will Blunden maybe get a hat-trick again? Because he had a hat-trick last game. And Ekholm scores a power play goal. That gives us a 3-goal advantage. I think that might be enough for this team. We're going to intervene here shortly. Let's intervene right now. Holy crap, man. We're actually able to win this potentially series because of some overtime games and because of the play of some youngsters. Let's go with this jersey for now, because we are only a few minutes away from going back to another Stanley Cup Finals. We've won so many Stanley Cups in this series already. Might as well try and go for another, and it could be against Philadelphia, which would be very exciting. But if it's against Columbus, so be it. But if it's against Philadelphia, it could be the biggest Stanley Cup Finals we've seen so far at this point. Okay, just gotta hold off them for another few minutes, guys. Pajot with it. Can't get by. It's a bobbling puck. Backer finds it. Backer finding it to Vandermeer. I wonder how much goals we're scoring on average still in this playoff run. Kavapel's now in net still. It doesn't have Kirka in net. Kavapel's wearing Florida Panthers gear, which is weird, but is what it is. So who's up there in points? Arthur Jaquizi has jumped a bunch of people. Currently, Michael Misa is leading the league in playoff points. However, it looks like he's going to be getting knocked out in the conference finals by us, of course, because that's the way we play. We always like to knock out those former guys. Here is Dalibor Dvorsky finding Mickelson. Mickelson can't get by. Backer finds Ekholm. Ekholm up to Walter. That huge OT winner by Walter also helped us in the series. Jaquizi a chance, turned away. Loose puck in front. Ekholm finds it, turned away. Kirka's now in net, so I guess they went right back to Kirka for some weird reason. Because he's got his Carolina gear, and that's turned away as well. At least we're getting some pressure on them to make sure that they don't generate any momentum here late. Michael Misa with it. They're not even going to pull their goalie, but Misa walks in, finds Dvorsky. That shot goes wide. Misa up front, doesn't get to the net. Jaquizi with it with 25 seconds to go. Yeah, we're going to be going to another Stanley Cup Finals. Trying to get, I think, our 6th Stanley Cup already, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't even know how much it's been. But it will be interesting to see if Aiden Irving is able to return for the Cup Finals. Because obviously, if we have to win another Stanley Cup without our captain, it would be kind of weird. Final few seconds. Your Winnipeg Jets are going back to the Stanley Cup Finals after a hard-fought series with the LA Kings. The question is, who will be waiting there for them? Will it be the ever-strong Philadelphia Flyers or the Columbus Blue Jackets, who we know nothing about, really? So, going to be interesting. Is it going to be the battle of the top two teams or the battle of us versus the Blue Jackets? It should be interesting. Oh, there's the guys going through the handshake line. I think it was a good idea. Also, to put Groshek down to the third line because he was not really playing great defensively. So, maybe eventually we'll put him back into the top 6, but right now, we'll do that. And Groshek, obviously being the assistant captain, actually just is going to be in this cutscene because obviously we don't have Aiden Irving there. That's weird. That is weird. Aiden Irving always seems to get injured in the playoffs or around the playoff time. Kind of sucks, but going back to the Stanley Cup Finals, we just need to win 4 more games, and we have another Stanley Cup potentially. So, third star of the game, Ekholm with 3 points, a goal and 2 assists. Who is going to be the second star is the question. Probably like Jaquizi. Yep, Jaquizi, 2 goals, 1 assist. He had a pretty good game. And of course, Taylor Blunden, 3 points. He also had an assist in this game. And yeah, we win this game. Taylor Blunden is fantastic. I'm curious on his stat line right now. Taylor Blunden is the playoff GOAT right now. I don't know how he's going to do in his first full season, but Mills also played decently. Good save percentage, not great goals against. But likely Bergqvist will probably start the Stanley Cup Finals unless you guys think I should start Mills. But Bergqvist obviously is the one that's getting paid the big bucks right now. So, but a huge win there. And the Blue Jackets take out the Flyers. So it's the reverse of what Saturn Taku is saying. The Flyers are not going to the Cup Finals, which means it's not going to be a battle of the top 2 teams, unfortunately. But we're going to be taking on Columbus for the Stanley Cup in 2038. Wow. All right. Well, let's take a look at our player stats through 3 rounds. It's only taken us 16 games to get up to this point. Obviously, that last round, we knew it was going to take us a little bit longer than the other series, just because LA was much more built up. But in terms of player stats, Ekholm on 22 points in 16 games. You have Bickle on 21 points. He's really good in that last round. Goldman on 16 points. Hurd on 4. Hansen on 4. So yeah, our fourth line definitely not dragging into much offense, but that's okay. Left wing wise, Walter on 16 points. Some big goals. 12 goals in the playoffs. You had Groshek on 16 points, but look at young Taylor Blunden. 6 goals, 1 assist, 7 points in 5 games. 2 game-winning goals. Yeah, that was a huge call-up. He's already 22. I didn't even realize he was already 22, but he is doing great. Shooting 40% right now. in the playoffs. The power play point, he has a shorthanded goal. He has been exactly as advertised. Perfect. Reason on 3 points, and then you have Landon with no points in one game. Right wing wise, Chikwueze on 22 points. We have Wilson on 21, Irving on 19 points, of course, before his injury, and Bulbrook has 12 in 16. From a defensive standpoint, we have Vandermeer on 18, Goddard on 16, Backer on 4, Reese on 4, Scarlett on 3, and Vernarski on 3. The only minus defenseman that's still full strength is Scarlett. And in goaltending-wise, still not getting consistent goaltending effort, but we're still finding ways to win games, which is very weird because all our goalies have over 4 goals against average. But we're scoring probably like 6 goals a game, I guess. Let's do a team comparison to the Blue Jackets before we take a look at their roster. Actually, I should take a look at regular season-wise first, because I honestly have no idea how good they were. If we go entire league-wise, oh no, they might be a cheese team. They were the 11th seeded team in the entire league, or the 11th best team in the entire league. 3.37 goals for per game. They're somewhat solid defensively, 3.07. Power play wasn't great. Penalty kill was really good, though. Wonder how they've been in the playoffs so far at this point. They probably have a lot better of a roster than I would anticipate, but let's go to entire league and sort this by wins. So, both of us, 12-4 in the playoffs. They're scoring 3.69 goals per game. We're scoring 5.19 still, which is insane that we've been able to keep that up. However, we're giving up 4.19 to their 2.56. So their goaltending versus our goaltending, that's going to be interesting to see if our offense could outscore them and if it could score on their goaltending. And they should be able to score against us because we're just giving up too much goals, but it's going to be a very tough problem for us to solve their goaltender likely. In terms of power play percentage, we were better so far by 6%. And penalty kill wise, they were much better, not a surprise on that front. They are 8-1 on the road, but 4-3 in home ice. Damn. Well, that's interesting. I have no idea who would be on the roster at this point if there's like any former players. That's just to get that confirmation already. But it sucks that it's kind of not Philadelphia because I was hoping for like a slaughter fest in the Cup Finals. But I'll take the Blue Jackets, but I don't know how good they are. If they took out the Flyers, they should be probably really good. So let's see what Columbus is built up like for 2038. So here is their team. Kent Johnson still there at 35 with Sean Holmes, who's 29, and Luke Misa, of course. Of course, I forgot that Luke Misa signed there. And Elijah Matsumoto, we dealt him there too. Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah, I understand this now. Luke Misa, since leaving us, has been pretty good, I'm pretty sure, with Columbus, right? Yeah, 4 years in Columbus, 104 points, 99 points, 76 points, and only 69 this last year. Huh. So he has dropped off a little bit, but obviously Luke Misa was here with Michael for quite a while, and then we had to get rid of him. In terms of Edwin Matsumoto, it's not Elijah Matsumoto. I don't know who Elijah Matsumoto is. Somebody else I had in my series probably at one point. But Edwin Matsumoto, of course, was another Winnipeg draft pick in the second round. We played him for a while, and then we had to deal him away as well because we didn't have enough roster space. He's had some solid seasons in Columbus, 59 points and 50 points. Playoff-wise, he's got 10 points in his 22 playoff games with the Blue Jackets. Of course. William Eklund's there as well. And then you also have Dwight Asham. Third line, Mario Goudreau, Dane Hickey, and Martin Necas. And a fourth line of Joachim Matanen. And then they also have Stefan Johansson and Logan Sizik. Okay. So they have a good, they're pretty balanced, I would say, in terms of offense. Good down the middle. Their right side is a little bit weaker than their left side, but still not too bad. From a defensive standpoint, Biedrich Slager. I don't even know who you are. Second overall pick a couple years back, or 7 years back. Looks like he could pick up some good offense. Yeah, pretty solid two-way defender. I also have Henry Muse, former 67. Sergei Tursunbayev. Former first-round pick. Dawson Baldwin. He sounds familiar. Oh, I knew it. I knew he sounded familiar as well. Did we trade him there? I don't remember if I traded him or did I just let him go. Dawson Baldwin. God damn, man. It's 3 former friggin' Winnipeg Jets. 5 by 5.69. That's expensive for an 80, but wow. Ethan Sampson's there and Sean Versteeg. Of course, we're going up against a lot of former players, though, for the Stanley Cup. That's just the way this game works. And then Juha Laurikainen is their starter. Yaroslav Askarov as their backup still at 35 years old. Okay. So they don't have the best goaltending and the best defensive core, but it's solid enough. And then scratch-wise, Oliver Wahlstrom and Darcy DeMello. I thought that first that was Dylan DeMello, but Darcy DeMello at 23. That's an interesting team. Definitely more balanced than I would have expected. But that defensive core isn't really the best other than Slager, really. I would say, like, Tursenbayev's pretty weak, Versteeg's weak, Samson's weak. So I'm hoping that we could exploit that, but they've been a good defensive team in front of Laurikainen, who's rocking a 927 at this point. Yeah, Laurikainen is playing really good, so we need to be able to find ways to score goals on it. Wait, no way. I don't even remember drafting this guy. I don't even remember drafting him. I don't know if any of you guys even remember that too, but I drafted this goalie. Really? Really? Now he's a starting goalie? I didn't even sign him to his ELC. And then after he was in friggin' Sweden, I don't know which team this is. I think it's Team Row or something. He signed with the Washington Capitals, played a year in AHL, and then he was in their NHL team all of a sudden. Played a few years there, and now he's in Columbus for his first year as a starter. And somehow his first ever run in the playoffs, he's playing really, really freaking good. I don't remember drafting him in the slightest. So was he an AI selection of mine? Maybe. But my God, that's 4 former players that we're going up against. Matsumoto, Misa, and then you have Baldwin, and friggin' Laurikainen. Well, that's going to be interesting to see if those come back to bite me at all or not. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Winnipeg Jets franchise mode. So next episode, we'll take it to another Stanley Cup Finals, this time against a lot of former players in the Columbus Blue Jackets. And we'll see if we're able to win another Stanley Cup, or will we find a way to lose our first Cup Finals, because we've never lost so far, I'm pretty sure, once we've gotten to this point. So anything down below, and I'll see you guys next time.